What's happening with Britney Spears is nuts. And I want you to hear me out because I think this is a really important story. Since 2008, over a decade, the government has enforced a conservatorship over her. So she's got her father running her life, court dictated. Britney Spears is 39 years old. But for 13 years, the federal government has said it's okay that her dad make all of her life choices. She's 39. This is what happens when the government is allowed to run unchecked with impunity, where they're just allowed to do whatever in the good of whomever. A conservatorship was something that was designed with good intentions. If an elderly person gets dementia or incapacitated, a conservator can be named to ensure the person's well-being. Okay, how does this apply at all to Britney Spears? Yes, we saw her problems back in 2008. That was 13 years ago. Since then, she's lived a public life, doing tours and shows. Throughout that, listen to what she says. She has been forced to take lithium and receive a fraction of her $60 million net worth. She lives on $2,000 a week. That may be a lot to you, but she's worth $60 million. Oh, and she's also forced on birth control. Forced. From her own statement 2 days ago, quote, I have an IUD in my body right now that will not allow me to have a baby, and my conservators won't let me take it out, go to the doctor. They don't want me having any babies. May I ask a question? Let's just say Britney Spears is out of her mind nuts. Okay. Shouldn't she have the right to her own money, her own career, her own life? If she's a danger to herself or others, then let's hear about that. But when $60 million is involved, oh, man, I think we should all pay a little attention to this. She may be nuts, but does she no longer have a right to have a baby? What was it the Supreme Court said in the progressive era? Oh, isn't one generation of imbeciles enough? That's what led to sterilization. That's what led to our marriage license. That's why we have a blood test, to make sure the races aren't intermingling and to make sure that no imbeciles are being created. This is un-American. She's living on $8,000 a month. Her dad takes twice that, $16,000 a month of her money. Plus, he gets cuts of her show appearances that she is forced to perform, in her words. What's happening to Britney Spears is insane. I will tell you, I think conservatorships are on the same level as red flag laws and civil asset forfeiture. The government is a fire, and you must never let that fire get out of control. It is a monster that will deprive you of everything for your own good. So let's say Britney Spears ends up homeless and she's living under a bridge and she's lost all of her teeth and she has no money. Okay, but if that's what she wanted, she has a right to live her own life. I mean, John Hinckley is a different story. Conservatorships are being used for what appears to be, in Britney Spears' case, slave labor. Why are they involved? Everyone on the left blindly applauds the red flag laws. What they do, mostly, is rob people of due process. If I'm in a divorce and I have a gun and my wife trying to get, an angle on me for whatever reason, she says, I think he might be a danger to himself or to the children. They can just come in. Anyone can make that charge. And they can come in and take my Second Amendment right from me without a trial? One day you're sending a poorly worded tweet. The next, men in black come and take your guns, or they take your children, they take your family. What about all of the people whose children are being taken from them because the government doesn't agree with their choice of treatment for their children? And I'm not talking about the extreme cases. I'm talking about cases where it's not about, the kid is riddled with cancer, and they're saying that God in a glass of milk. I'm not even talking about those people. I'm talking about people that disagree with what the doctor wants to do, and the hospital can take them and put them under state control and force them to relinquish the control of their child so the state or the doctor gives them the medicine that they deem, even if other doctors say, I wouldn't go with that. We're losing everything. Even the ACLU agrees that civil asset forfeiture is being abused by the government. If you don't know what that is, that means you go to the bank. You want to buy something in cash. You take out $3,000 in cash. I don't know. You're buying anything but cocaine. You're going to a furniture store and you're buying a whole new suite of furniture for your house. If you're stopped speeding and that officer sees that cash in your car, he can say, what are you doing with that? Well, you can't ask me that question. Why do you need to know? Do you have a suspicion I'm going to do something wrong? Oh, now I'm suspicious. Give me the cash. And they can just take your cash. They can take your home, your car. They can take all your possessions. It's seized by the government merely for having an association with a criminal or being a suspect, and you don't get it back. And yes, they can do it. And we're allowing them to do it because we're arguing over all of this stupid stuff, and we're not arguing over something really important, the Bill of Rights.